So I hope you've enjoyed these retrospectives from the 2000 debaters and the 1992 debaters, straight from the horse's mouth, as it were. To me, these are important videos, important recountings of the 92 and the 2000 debates, because I think that they prove my point. The point that I made at the outset was that presidential debates are not won by any rational standard, in the sense that you would a court case, but are instead won by a performative standard, the way you might judge a theatrical performance, how an actor or actress does in a film. In particular, the 1992 contest showed that Bush was on the defensive in large part because he looked nervous, because he was looking at his watch. He looked like he didn't want to be there, he had somewhere else to be. And second, because at least in terms of the optics of it, the way that he answered the woman's debt question, the question about the national debt, optically looked bad because he was fumbling for an answer. Performatively, he wasn't speaking very well. He was continually asking her for clarification. And then when he finally did give his clarification, he furthered the distance between her by identifying himself as a rich person, a person of, quote, means. The 2000 debate shows this performative standard over this rational standard far more. I think that Bush and his team understood, in terms of their debate preparation, what Bush actually said during that interview after the fact was that without a zinger, without these quotable moments, and without gaffes, there is no winner. And so Bush understood that the performance almost outweighs the rational, deliberative aspect of marshaling good arguments, making great claims backed by solid evidence that you can prove to voters that you're a position on. Privatizing Social Security is better than Gore's lockbox idea, hypothetically. And so what Bush did was he immediately came in the first, the second, and the third debate, and he pushed Gore on the defensive. He established himself as sort of the alpha dog in the ring, and the way that he did that was to accuse Gore of lying. What he said was, over and over again, that Gore has been practicing fuzzy math, which leads voters to believe that Gore can't be trusted on certain issues, which of course then leads back to questions about moral indiscretions in the Clinton White House, where Clinton notoriously had a fuzzy relationship with the truth on a few occasions. And so if they can establish that linkage between the moral indiscretions of the Clinton White House and the Gore White House in public in the debate, then Gore's going to have a hard time winning the debate. And so he repeats fuzzy math. He says that maybe Al Gore, sarcastically, he says, didn't also invent the internet, but he also invented the calculator. And then you can hear Gore start to sigh, and Gore clearly is becoming unsettled. And so he changes his strategy to be much less offensive, much less alienating to potential voters who saw him as frustrated and emotional. In the second debate, he's much more demure and sits very calmly. The third debate, obviously, his advisors didn't like the numbers that they saw after the second debate, and so they told him to be aggressive again. And so the way that he tried to show that aggression came off historically awkwardly, when I think that he was trying to get into the cut shot while Bush was speaking, so it looked as if he was towering over Bush to establish a kind of dominance over Bush. And Bush then perfectly acknowledged him in kind of an awkward way, and then the audience laughed, and then Bush moved on and walked away, and Gore came out of that exchange looking like Bush was much wiser than he in terms of their debate combat.